Hello everyone, you're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Ontario's top doctor warns of more recommendations to public on masking ahead of difficult winter. Police arrest group of boys, some as young as 14, in rash of carjackings and pharmacy robberies. Police release new details in deadly Markham Crash. Arrest warrant issued following fatal North York shooting last week. Hockey Canada Board resigned after Justice Thomas Cromwell's recommendation. Man critically injured in overnight shooting in Brampton.
Those were the headlines, and now let's jump right into the details.
Police arrested 4 youths, some as young as 14, in connection with a series of carjackings and pharmacy robberies that took place across Toronto and York region over a 2-week period. It is alleged that the group is responsible for at least 3 carjackings and 8 pharmacy robberies between September 19th and October 4th. In a news release, police said that 1 or 2 of the boys would approach vehicles while pointing a handgun at the occupant and demand their keys and property. The boys would then drive away from the scene and the stolen vehicle, police say. It is further alleged that some of the stolen vehicles were then used in a series of takeover-style robberies at pharmacies. Police say that during those robberies, one of the boys would produce a handgun and make a demand for cash and narcotics. The group would then flee into the waiting vehicle. Following the rash of robberies, the Toronto Police Hold-Up Squad began a joint investigation with York Regional Police, which led to the identification of several suspects. Police say that officers then observed the boys getting into a stolen vehicle on October 6th, which had been taken during an earlier carjacking. Officers subsequently stopped that vehicle with assistance from the Toronto Police Emergency Task Force and took the boys into custody. Police said that the subsequent execution of 2 search warrants ultimately led to the recovery of a replica gun, a large quantity of narcotics, as well as clothing worn during the robberies. The suspects include 3 14-year-old boys and 1 16-year-old boy who cannot be identified under the terms of the Youth Criminal Justice Act. They are facing a combined 83 charges. Toronto police have issued a warrant for arrest of a man wanted in connection with fatal shooting in North York last week. The incident happened in the area of Jane Street and Finch Avenue West at around 1:40 p.m. on August 6. Police say that officers located a man suffering from a gunshot wound who was later pronounced dead at the scene. On Friday, police identified the victim as 28-year-old Osman Bangura from Toronto. He is the city's 54th homicide victim of the year. Police said they believe the incident was targeted. A warrant has been issued for 23-year-old Richard Samuels of Toronto. He is wanted for second-degree murder. Ontario's top doctor said he will make more recommendations on masking ahead of a quite complex and difficult winter battling COVID-19. Chief Medical Officer of Health Dr. Kiran Moore told CP24 on Thursday COVID-19 hospitalizations in the province have been increasing in the past several weeks. We will be making more recommendations on wearing masks to cut down the risk of all these viruses that are transmitted through personal contact, Moore said. It could be quite complex and difficult winter. CTV News Toronto spoke with the Ministry of Health, who clarified Moore's recommendations would be to the public and not government to reinstate any public health measures. Moore said he is urging all Ontarians who are eligible to get their booster shot. 30,000 just yesterday came forward to get vaccinated. I would love to see those numbers higher. We have the vaccine, we have vaccinators. We have capacity for roughly 80,000 individuals per day, Moore said. Moore said he is also concerned about the impact of influenza on Ontario's healthcare system this winter and is asking people to stay up to date on all their vaccines. As of last week, the number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 reached a 2-month high in Ontario. The latest data released by the Ministry of Health suggests there were 1,465 people testing positive for COVID-19 in Ontario hospitals, up from 1,265 the previous week and 1,141 on September 22nd. Ontario residents aged 12 and above can now book a bivalent COVID-19 booster as shipments of Pfizer's newly approved vaccination series are set to arrive in the province this week. On Friday, Health Canada approved the Pfizer bivalent vaccine targeting the BA4 and BA5 strains of the Omicron variant. Previously, only Moderna's bivalent booster, available to those 18 years of age and older, was approved and available in Ontario. York Regional Police are appealing for witnesses after 2 people died and 1 left in critical condition following a serious collision in Markham Wednesday afternoon. The incident happened at around 2 p.m. in the area of Markham Road and Elson Street, just north of Steeles Avenue East in Markham. Police say a dump truck with a trailer collided with an Acura that had 3 occupants in it. The driver of the Acura, a 21-year-old male, and rear passenger, a 23-year-old female, were pronounced dead at the scene. A third passenger, a 52-year-old female, was transported to hospital with life-threatening injuries, where police say she remains in critical condition. The 46-year-old male driver of the dump truck remained at the scene with no injuries, according to police. Investigators are now urging witnesses who have not yet spoken with police or anyone who may have dashcam footage of the collision to come forward. Police say they would also like to speak to anyone who saw either of the vehicles or has information on their driving behaviors prior to the collision. A former Supreme Court justice recommended wholesale change at Hockey Canada a day before the embattled sports organization's president, CEO, and board resigned on Tuesday. Hockey Canada released a memo from Justice Thomas Cromwell Thursday alongside his interim report reviewing the organization's governance. The memo dated Monday says there can be no serious debate. Hockey Canada's leadership had lost the confidence of important stakeholders and that calls for a change needed to be answered. Cromwell recommended that Hockey Canada put in place a board and a board chair who agreed to serve for only 1 year as a transition board. The transition board will be responsible for addressing the many public concerns about the senior management team of the organization. Hockey Canada announced Tuesday that President and CEO Scott Smith had departed and the entire board of directors had resigned. Cromwell was tasked in August with undertaking a full governance review of Hockey Canada after it revealed that the organization reached an undisclosed settlement with a woman who alleged she was sexually assaulted by 8 players, including members of the country's 2018 World Junior team.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.